FBI subversion, the corruption of America, and spying and stalking and gang stalking U.S. citizens, activists, social justice warriors. How long in the United States has the FBI been corrupt? How long in the United States have out of control gangster banksters and all their bar association lawyers and all their licensed real estate brokers and licensed mortgage funding brokers, how long in the United States has the FBI dropped the ball, resulting in the entire banking system being robbed for wealth beyond belief? Now, when I say robbed for wealth beyond belief, I'm talking about that hocus pocus shin plaster, the out of the thin air bills of credit, the printed up keystroked fiat reserve note system of paper currency. How long has the United States been subjected to the subversion and to the incompetence and corruption of Justice Department and FBI dropping the ball on the massive looting of America's financial system? Now, one thing I'm learning about this conspiracy involving Deutsche Bank and J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America and Danske Bank and UBS and Barclays and HSBC, all these European banks mostly are being managed and operated by a bunch of communists. Deutsche Bank is run by European communists. Just, Donald Trump, maybe you want to find you a different bank to loan you money. But back to the original point. Is Donald Trump's campaign the only target of FBI and Justice Department and political chicanery and subversion, underhanded stalking and spying? How many other American citizens have been subjected to the dirty tricks of FBI? I know I've been subjected to it. I'm positive of that. Everybody who knows me realizes that I'm the fellow that began exposing the massive banking and savings and loan crimes involving gargantuan real estate swindles and real estate frauds in Harris County, Texas. That's Houston, Texas, and up just immediately north, up at Montgomery County, Texas, at Conroe. The Woodlands, ladies and gentlemen, Kingwood, Humble, Texas, all over Montgomery County, Harris County, Galveston County, Chambers County. The list goes on. Liberty County, Fort Bend County, all over Texas, from Dallas to San Antonio to Houston. Land fraud was going gangbusters, and the bankster gangsters and the insurance companies and huge numbers of real estate companies were involved in it up to their freaking eyeballs. Oh, and then it really gets interesting, folks, because this real estate scheming and scamming and bank swindling and savings and loan robbing is all over the United States. And it's been going on for decades. It's still going on with all these illegal foreclosures and these subprime predatory mortgage rackets. Now, down in the links below, you can find a cause of action in the federal courts. Cause number 2:19-CV-005. It's in Judge Clifton L. Corker's courtroom in Greenville, Tennessee. And what we're laying out for the federal courts of the United States, very simple. This real estate scheming and scamming and subprime predatory mortgages and, falsified appraisals and falsified loan qualifications, stated income, no documentation, no down payment. Hell, you don't even have to prove that you really had a job. They just faked the loan papers and marketed hundreds of billions, even trillions of reserve notes, thin air, shin plaster, fiat currency. They financed trillions in illicit real estate transactions all over the United States. Now, people like me, I've got a network of people that are exposing this, and I assure you of one thing: the FBI and the Department of Justice has done their number on me. And when you try to call them up and discuss this massive real estate scheming and fraud and racketeering and International Bank Secrecy Act violations, the FIREA violations, that's FIREA violations, and all the underwriting violations. There's underwriting standards for the issuance of a mortgage loan. You can't just fake the whole process and loan somebody $300,000, $400,000, $700,000, $1 million for houses and farms and businesses. You have to actually follow the rules and engage in what's known as proper underwriting standards to issue these loans. But, ladies and gentlemen, the American banking system was robbed, looted, stupid again. While the FBI and the Department of Justice did what? Spied on elections and spied on Americans and undermined and subverted people unconstitutionally, unlawfully. This crime spree being engaged in by the FBI, well, it goes back to Conroe, Texas, and Houston, when this lovely fellow was beginning to expose the savings and loan scandal and the bank lootings of the 1980s, the 1990s, and then, how many times did the bubbles pop between 1960 and 2019? Go back and look at your history books. The systemic, if you will, looting and robbing of America's financial system used in real estate, it's been going on for centuries in America. This is why certain families in this nation are filthy rich and getting richer every day. They use chicanery, deception, and fraud. They use fraudulent artifice, fraudulent schemes and scams to get vast sums of money out of the banks, out of the savings and loans, out of the pension funds, out of all the federal lending agencies, quote, lending agencies of the United States government, incorporated. Now, folks, I can go on with this video for days. I'm currently involved in a matter in state district court in eastern Tennessee that also, I don't know if we can get that in there. There we have it. It's also in federal court. They're blocking the filing of appeals. They're refusing litigants their due process and equal protection rights and their meaningful access to the courts. They're just refusing it. They're making up excuses and, frankly, just lying about the standards for seeking justice in the Tennessee courts. It's just this simple, just blockading. They don't want these cases litigated. They don't want these cases even filed. Now, we've gone to the state court administration, we've gone to the federal judges, we've gone to the clerk of the courts, Bob Russell, in Kingsport, Tennessee, saying, you know, what's going on here, folks? Has the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and the Constitution of the United States been suspended, and the litigation of these cases is being subverted and blocked by judicial officers in Tennessee? And the answer is yes. That's what's going on here, folks. Tried to file a case yesterday and was told that indigent parties are required to pay the litigation tax up front. That was just one. They refused to issue subpoenas. They're trying to make non-essential parties that aren't even real parties in interest join the litigation, or they won't file the case for an appealing real party in interest. I know that's a mouthful, but believe me, trust me, Bob Russell and the state court administrators for the state of Tennessee and the federal courts know precisely what I'm discussing here. Excuse me. Now I'm going to have to let this go. I guess my voice is, well, I'm losing my voice here. I'm getting laryngitis apparently, and that's interesting. Nice timing. I'll leave it right there. Look for all the links below. Study this all you want to, and ask yourself one question. Do you honestly believe that Donald Trump and his campaign are the only targets of illegal activities by the FBI, COINTELPRO, you know, the FBI subversion and spying on the American people, with the Department of Justice? And quite simply stated, you got sheriff's departments, court officers, court clerks, state police, attorney generals, county commissioners. You've got this kind of subversion, spying, and stalking against American people going on all over the nation. And Donald Trump, sir, you are hardly the only person that's been victimized and targeted by these illegal activities involving FBI and Department of Justice, and even the United States Secret Service and the Treasury and the IRS are involved in this stuff, with people like the Postal Inspection Service. This subversion of the American people is rampant, it's widespread, and it's just unacceptable. Folks, as always, hasta la vista, God bless, and you betcha, we're definitely coming back.